All right, guys, for this problem, we're going to do another chain rule, but not written. We're going to have to rewrite it. So, for example, if I wanted you to find the derivative of the fourth root of negative 5x plus 3 times negative 2x cubed plus 5, we would have to use the product rule, but first we're going to rewrite this fourth root with a rational exponent. So this would look like this. Negative 5x plus 3 to the 1/4 times negative 2x cubed plus 5. That way, I know which term is my first and which is my second. So now let's use the product rule to find the derivative. The product rule says that we're going to take the first times the derivative of the second. The derivative of negative 2x cubed would be negative 6x squared plus the second times the derivative of the first. Now we're going to have to use the chain rule to find the derivative. Bring the power out in front. Keep what's in parentheses. Subtract 1 from your exponent, which would be a negative 3/4. And then take the derivative of what's inside the parentheses, which would be negative 5. Now that the calculus is out of the way, let's clean it up with some algebra. I'm going to leave the negative 5x plus 3 to the 1/4 and the negative 6x squared alone. I'm going to leave this negative 2x cubed plus 5 alone, and I'm going to multiply the 1/4 times the negative 5 to give me negative 5/4. Now we're going to be looking to see what my greatest common factor would be to pull out. I notice they have a negative 5x plus 3 in common. This is a negative 3/4 exponent. This is a 1/4. I'm going to take the smaller. So I'm going to take a negative 3/4 out. So negative 5x plus 3 to the negative 3/4. When I factor that out, I'm going to be left with one of these terms inside of my bracket. So I'm going to have negative 5x plus 3 and then negative 6x squared plus negative 2x cubed plus 5 times my negative 5/4. That's a lot. Let's clean it up and see if we can simplify it down further. If I distribute, I'm going to get 30x cubed minus 18x squared. If I distribute here, I'm going to get a positive 5/2 x cubed minus 25/4. Now let's see if there are any like terms to combine together. There are right here. So 30 plus 5/2. 30 is the same thing as 60/2. So plus 5, that would be 65/2 x cubed minus 18x squared minus 25/4. But don't forget, you still have this negative 5x plus 3 to the negative 3/4 power. To make that a positive, we're just going to send that to the denominator. So this is going to be over negative 5x plus 3 to the 3/4 power. And even though that seems like a lot of work, we still don't want to leave it like this because of all of these fractions. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply top and bottom by the least common multiple, which in this case would be 4. So multiply top and bottom by 4. So 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 times 65 would be 130 x to the third. 4 times 18 would be negative 72 x squared. 4 goes into 4 1 time. 1 times negative 25 is negative 25 all over 4 times negative 5x plus 3 to the 3/4 power. And that would be the derivative of the original function.